I absolutely love videos like this because they're just hilarious. Genuinely hilarious. Amber Heard supporters have been the target of widespread harassment on Twitter, according to firm once hired by Heard's lawyers. So, not to say that they are actually working on behalf of Heard right now. We don't know. But Amber Heard supporters target widespread harassment on Twitter? I wouldn't say widespread harassment. People just don't like Amber Heard. And so they then reflect that upon people that do support her and go, well, why are you supporting her? And not to mention as well, I find articles like this very suspect when I have not seen any articles to say Johnny Depp supporters and people covering the subject matter on YouTube have been doxxed, have been subjected to swatting. So I would go out on a limb and say this article was bought and paid for by Amber Heard. This is part of her PR machine. Because I have not seen any mainstream media talking about the fact that, sadly, and it is sadly, people have been doxxed by Amber Heard supporters. People have been swatted or attempted swatting. I mean, this is very dangerous stuff, ladies and gents. Really, really dangerous stuff. So let's take a look at this. Under that proviso that this is probably bought and paid for. And I say that because the opening line is Twitter trolls. Right, yes, everyone's just a troll. Have engaged in rampant abuse and widespread targeted harassment. Now, I like the fact that they then go on to say of women on the social network, on Twitter. But from my census that I can do when I do these videos, by and large, the people supporting Depp are women. And as usually, yes, there are, of course, women supporting Amber Heard, but it's also a bunch of white knights that for some bizarre reason think that they'll probably get noticed and get their D wet from Amber Heard. How insane is this? But yeah, so, targeted harassment of women on social network who have voiced support for Amber Heard, according to a research firm that had previously been hired by lawyers representing Heard in a defamation court case with Johnny Depp. Now, they wouldn't have analysed any of this stuff unless someone paid them. They're not just going to do it randomly. This is a firm. This is a business. This is probably using the same information, or should I say, this is using the same information that was gathered under the same pretense that it was, worked within when Amber Heard hired them. Basically, Amber Heard said, we need you to find this information out. So they then did a study or whatever that did that. What? It's garbage. Bias. The firm, Bot Sentinel, analysed 14,292 tweets that included at least 4 viral anti-Heard hashtags. You know what I think's funny about this? Is if they'd also analysed the hashtags that were supportive of Amber, you would have seen that people were just taking the piss out of her as well. And it's funny because they haven't done that. So Amber Heard is an abuser. Amber Heard is Amber Heard L's an abuser. I guess that's like a typo or something. Amber Heard is a liar, and Amber Heard L's a liar. I found that 24% of the accounts that posted them were created within the past 7 months. I mean, that generally is what happens when people want to, jump on and support stuff. Now, I will say that some of them could be bots for sure. I've literally just done a video about the Snyder Cut having support from bots and things. Like, I would say unequivocally, yeah, this definitely could have some bots behind it. But I know that there were people that literally joined Twitter. And again, I know that because I can do a census of my videos, and there are actually people, that have done that, basically. They've just joined Twitter. People have said, yeah, hey, I've joined Twitter to support this. So in the report released Monday, Bot Sentinel said that abusive trolls, how are we defining abuse, who identified as Johnny Depp supporters, had subjected women to verbal abuse and targeted harassment. Again, how are we defining abuse? How are we defining trolls? How are we defining harassment here? These are all really important things. Like, really, really important things. Because, like, you'd need to know. Otherwise, all of this is completely meaningless. I mean, this is meaningless anyway. Now, they also say accounts used Amber Heard LS, an abuser, and Amber Heard LS, a liar, with the letter I purposely replaced with the letter L to deceive Twitter's algorithms, according to Bot Signal. It wasn't to deceive Twitter's algorithms, it was to deceive Twitter purposely suppressing, and that was what it was. Twitter purposely suppressed these hashtags from trending. So people were, wanting to talk about it, and Twitter purposely suppressed it. Toxic trolls continue to tweet anti-Amber Heard hashtags and attack women weeks after the Depp versus Heard trial ended. Did you do anything else? Now this is what's annoying. In at least one case, pro-Depp trolls doxed the woman's family and created a fake Twitter account using a photo of the woman's deceased child to troll her. That's disgusting, but Johnny Depp video creators have also been doxed and swatted. Where's the commentary on that? In the report, the company disclosed that Heard's lawyers had contacted Bot Sentinel in 2020 and hired it to determine whether the social media activity against Miss Heard was organic or if there was some other explanation. The company concluded that a significant portion of the activity wasn't organic. Now I'm going to call that bollocks. And do you know why I'm going to call that bollocks? Because of the amount of views on videos around this subject. A significant portion of the activity wasn't organic. I really, really call that nonsense. Because I cannot fathom that would be the case. I genuinely can't. Now, for the report released Monday, the firm claimed that neither Amber Heard nor anyone from her team hired Bot Sentinel to review the activity. No one hired Bot Sentinel to compile and publish this report. Huh? I mean, but you were. Heard's lawyers had contacted Bot Sentinel in 2020 and hired it to determine whether the social media activity against Miss Heard was organic. So, I mean, you were literally... What? You were literally hired to do this. You just weren't hired. And I bet you anything as well, just as an FYI, that they were hired actually to do this in the aftermath, which would equate to some form of a foundation for the appeal process that Amber obviously wants to go through. I bet you anything. I bet you they're just lying. You were literally hired at one point. How could you... I mean, what? Utter nonsense. So last week, Heard's motion for a mistrial and a defamation suit with Depp was dismissed by a Virginia judge who found no grounds to overturn the jury's verdict in Depp's favour. Agree. This is just... So Bot Sentinel said it sent Twitter a list of several hundred accounts that the company determined violated multiple rules and policies of the platform, including violent threats and platform manipulation. Twitter essentially left the women to fend for themselves, with little to no support from the platform. Oh no! People have to listen to stuff. They can't block people. Really? Oh no! Twitter left women to fend for themselves on the internet. Oh, my heart bleeds. I mean, look, creating a Twitter account and having a picture of some dead child and stuff. That's gross. If anyone's done that, you're a dickhead. But some of these people were posting utter nonsense. Like, I've responded to some people on Twitter and I was like, what? Did you even watch the trial? I mean, we don't know by what metric they're counting abuse and harassment. That could have been counted on it. See what I mean? It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And they sit here and say, that this Bot Sentinel website, was founded to help fight disinformation and targeted harassment. We believe Twitter users should be able to engage in healthy online discourse without inauthentic accounts, toxic trolls. How do you define that? Foreign countries and organised groups manipulating the conversation. But you're literally manipulating the conversation when you admit that people had to change hashtags because Twitter suppressed that conversation from appearing in the trending tags. You utter imbeciles. There you go. Amber Heard supporters were apparently targets of widespread harassment. Variety, you want to be unbiased? Do a video on everyone being doxxed now. I'd love to see it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out my Teespring store. Supporting the channel via this way does go a long way. But also, not only that, you do get to wear some awesome merch. These are one-of-a-kind designs designed for me by my graphic designer. We, of course, have our Clown World line, which is in mugs, hoodies, t-shirts. We've got Space Jeebus. And then for something a little bit different, we, of course, have right down at the bottom right here, we have our Pulsar GTIR. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out and supporting my second channel, which is Car Nonsense. This is a vlog and car channel. You can find links to this in the description box along with my Teespring. Please do consider supporting.